we are gonna understand everything that we need to know about Git and how we can work with Git and all. I know a lot of you have clicked this video because of the thumbnail I have put, but let me assure you, learning Git has nothing to do with overloading yourself with information or remembering a lot of commands. It's very simple once you understand how it works. So let's get started. Just to give you an example, pawn is something that you do offline, right? Once that's an act that you do perform, and Pornhub is a place on the internet, or let's say cloud, where you store the information or like the act that you do offline. It's the same. So Git is something that you do changes locally, or the place you interact or the place you play locally in your PC. And GitHub is a cloud, or is like an internet space where you can store all the information, all the files that you work on, and manipulate all those files whenever you want and from wherever you want. You just have to log in and start to use it. So before we understand that, we need to do a few installations first. If you have to work in Mac, then you can just do brew install git. Once you do this, your PC will install Git if you don't have it. In my case, I already have it, so I need not install it again. Second, then you need to create your project folder, right? It's a location where you'll have all of your project files. That you can do with this command mkdir my project, let's say. And then I'm gonna go into that project folder, which is cd my project. Now you are in your project location. You can create files here, you can do a lot of things here. So if you want to initialize Git here, like let's say if you want this space to be monitored by Git, you just have to initialize Git. That you can do using this command git init. So git init, what it is going to do is that it's going to initialize a tracking system, let's say. So this tracking system is going to help us in tracking information that we put in the GitHub. Okay, so now we have our Git initialized and our project folder set up. So let's create some random file me that you can create using nano command .md. So here I'm just gonna say this is my repository. Okay, and then just gonna write it and exit. Now in this project folder we have a file called readme.md. You can visualize all the files in your project by using command ls. So once you press ls, you get all these files that you have in your local directory. All right, and let's say I want to upload this readme file into my GitHub. So how do we do that? So this is how we do it. First we are going to add that file into our tracking system, which is initialized. So that you can do by git add dot. So once you do this, each and every file that you create are going to be added into Git. Okay, now every file is added here. And then once you add the file, let's say if you want to upload this file, you just have to do commit. So commit is a mechanism where you can take your offline information and put it in a queue so that you can process it later on once you do push. Like push is something that you push your local information into internet. That we will come to it later. Now I'm just gonna commit it. So git commit, and here you have a commit message, which is like a mandatory thing for your reference. So I'm just gonna keep first commit. When you do this, it's gonna keep your files in the queue. Okay, now your files are set up for the push. Then what you need to do is you need to publish your repository, whatever you have offline, into GitHub. That how you have to do is this way. So for that you just have to do gh repo. Okay, before we do that, we just have to install gh. So that's brew install gh. Okay, in my case it's already installed. If you don't have it, you will get it installed. And then once you have this gh, it's just short form of GitHub. So gh, then you need to log into GitHub. So that you can do by gh auth login. So here it says, okay, I want to use GitHub, yes, and HTTPS, yes, and yes, and login with the web browser. Okay, so I just have to copy this and press enter. Here it's gonna Okay, now I am gonna log in. So say send SMS. Okay. Once you enter your OTP, it's gonna activate, and then we have to paste the command that the information that we took from here. Okay, this one, and then just continue. I'm gonna authorize GitHub. Yes. All right, we are set. Now here you can see I was logged in now. I'm now inside my own account of GitHub. So now I have to publish this my project into GitHub, right, which is now locally in my PC. So that I can do using this command gh repo create your username. I'll paste this command below, and you have to name your repository. Here I'm gonna name my repository as my project. Okay, once you name this, you have to you have like two modes. Either you can initialize it with public, or you can also initialize it by private. So public is like it could be accessed by anyone. Private is like it could be accessed only by you and it's only visible to you, right? So once you do this, you just have to enter this command, and then we are going to push our local project into GitHub. That you can do with this command. So once you do this command, what happens is that in my GitHub, in my repositories, it's going to have this project folder, right? So we can check that out. You just have to first log in. So here I have logged in, and then I just have to go to my repositories. And once you go to your repositories, you will see the project that has been updated. So here we have updated one file which is called readme.md, and readme.md is just what we wrote, which is this is my repository, as simple as that. So finally you have published the local folder that you are working on your PC into GitHub. So that's how you publish a repository into GitHub. And now comes the fun part, which is maintaining, creating more files, updating information with maybe your colleagues or peers or someone that's working along with you on the same project, something like that. So that we can do using these commands now. Okay, now let's say we are going to create a new file, maybe something like hello world.py, let's say. So that you can do like this. Now first program, something like that .py. So here I'm saying just print hello, and I'm just gonna write it out. So we have another file here which is first program.py. Now again we need to add this file, right? We need to say GitHub that okay, we have another file that has to be added into our queue, which could be done using commit. So before we go for commit, we need to add this file, which is done by git add. Dot is like always all. If you don't have if you don't want to add a lot of files, then you can update only the specific file. For instance, here git add first program.py. So here what happens is that if you have like multiple files, it is gonna add into the queue only the file that you want to add. We are gonna add now, and once you add, then we are gonna have to commit. So git commit message, which is like my program with second commit, something like that. And now when I press enter, it's gonna commit, it's gonna keep that into queue. All right, it's going to track this history as well later on. And then now we have everything set up locally. Now all we have to do is just push this file into the global repository, or like the repository we have on the internet. That we can do using git push command, right? Once we do this, it's going to push all the files that we are working on that are in our commit to our GitHub. So now if we go open GitHub, we will see another file. So just have to reload. Okay, now you can see here is our commit message, and then here we have first program.py, which is saying just print hello something. So something like that. So this is how you push. And let's say you are making some updates online. Here I'm saying, let's say I have this readme file and I'm, let's say, editing this file. Okay, this is my repository. I am making an update in the GitHub. Okay, and I'm just gonna commit changes by saying update readme, something like that. Commit changes. So you can also do it on the internet, right? So now my readme is updated online, but it is not reflected in my local PC. So how do we do that? So that you can do using a command called git pull. So when you enter git pull, what happens is that it's going to understand the updates that are, or like the changes that are in your GitHub repository that is online, and then take all those updates and put it in your local project, right? So here if you see, when I did pull, it understood readme has an update which is given by plus here. If you have more lines, it gives plus. If you have less lines, it gives minus, right? And then now in my project folder, if I see, let's see nano readme.md, so we can see here, we can see our updated information that we have done online on GitHub, right? So that's how you can pull the updates from online. It could be from other branches as well. So branches is another concept. So let's say you are working on a feature and you don't want to mess up with your original code base. So then you can create an isolated version which is called as a branch that is gonna be from your current version. It's gonna clone that version into another branch, and we can update that branch, and then let's say if everything goes fine, we can pull, like merge that branch into our main branch. Okay, that's the concept of branches in Git. So let's say I want to see all my branches that are present in my repository right now. So that I can do with git branch command. So currently I only have one branch which is called master. Now let's say I want to create a new branch. I can just create by saying git branch second branch. This is going to create a second branch. Now if I see git branch, I can see two branches here available. Now I need to change this into second branch. Like I don't want to work on my master because I want to isolate that master. I don't want to touch anything. Now I want to do update on my second branch. That I can do by using switch command. So git switch second branch. Now we are in our second branch, which is having all the files from our master branch. If I see like ls, it's still gonna have first program and readme. Now I have like I want to make another edit. I want to create a new file. Let's say nano second program .py. Okay, in this I just want to say like this is my second branch. Alright, and I'm just gonna save it. So if I do ls now, I'm gonna see three files in my second branch. Okay, before we do this, we just have to we first have to publish our branch. All right, can do by I'm just gonna switch it back again. Okay, so now I just have to do push. When I do push, it's gonna publish my second branch. So git push. Okay, so here it says to push the current branch and remote as upstream, you just have to do this. So I just copy it, paste it, and now I have my second branch in the GitHub updated. So if I go here now, if I just reload here, now it's gonna say I have like two branches. So if I click on that, I can see like second branch, which is going to have more files which we have to update now because we didn't do commit and add yet. We just published our branch, but we didn't do our committing. So now all I have to do is git add all the files, or like specific files. I'm gonna add all the files for now, and then git commit message that says this is my second program file. And then once you hit commit, you just have to push it, git push. Okay, it pushed all the files into my second branch. Now if I go to GitHub and see on my second branch, here it already says like second branch has recent pushes. I just have to update it. Okay, now you can see in my second branch I have these many files, but in my first branch I just have master, and in the master I only have 2 files. Okay, now the interesting part is, now I want to merge my second branch into my first branch. Okay, so that you can do using merge command. So I need to go to the branch I want to be updated. So in this case I want to go to my branch 1 because I want my branch to be merged into branch 1, right? So that I can do by just switching the branch first. Master, now you are in master, and if you see here we only have 2 files. Okay, because the third file is in our second branch. Now all I need to do is merge. That you can do using git merge second branch. Now once I hit enter, what it's gonna do is it's gonna take all the information from my second branch and put it in my first branch, which is my master. So now it's done. Now you can see second program has been updated in my main branch, which is master. Okay, now if we go here and go to our master branch, we will see how to see. Okay, we need to do push git add and then git push. Okay, now we will see our second program in the master branch. So that's how you update branches, and that's how you merge the branches. And then let's say if you want to understand all the things that are happening in your git, you can do it by git status, and you can also get all the information using git fetch. So that is git fetch. It's gonna understand everything that's there online and fetch it into your local PC. And if you sometimes don't have the changes reflected, you just have to do -all. This is gonna get all the information. Okay, let's say if you are working on many branches, you need to do this so that you will see each and every branch that you are having online and also locally. That's how you work with GitHub, and that's all you need to know if you want to get started. But there is also another easy way. If you are very confused and if you don't want to remember all this information, all these commands and all, you can also do this via VS Code. All right, so first I'm going to open Visual Studio Code, VS Code, and then I can just open the file, which is okay, wait, we can also do another thing which is called git cloning. So cloning is something like, let's say you have some repository of someone's project. Okay, I'm gonna go GitHub Python project, let's say. Okay, so here we have some information on someone else's project, and if you want that project inside your PC, you can do that using git clone. For that you just have to copy this, and then you just have to do git clone this. Once you do this, it's going to fetch all that project information and put locally into your PC. Okay, so I'm just going to give enter here, and you will see all the information that's coming into my PC. So now if I go to this location, I can see this project repository in my PC. So we can just open it. I'm gonna go so it's in here, and then my project, and then you can see here this is the project folder that we have downloaded from GitHub using clone. And then you can work on this project. You can just go here, you can like make more changes, add some more stuff, something like that. So that's how you can also clone GitHub repositories and work on that. And then let's see about GitHub in VS Code, how we can initialize it and how we can do all the same operations that we have done, but in a console, which is like you need not remember anything, but you can just click some buttons and have this all happen. Okay, now I have opened VS Code. In this, let's say I'm gonna just open a new location. Here I'm just gonna say new folder, and project 2. I'm just gonna name it project 2, create, and I'm gonna open this folder. Okay, I trust the author. Okay, so now we have VS Code set up, right? And we are in my project 2 folder. Okay, here all you need to do is you just have to like create a new file, which is could be readme.md. It's a markdown file. So here let's say this is my project 2, and just save this. So when you do this, you can see a symbol here which is of GitHub. Once you do this, it's also called a source control. Here it says initialize repository. So you just have to initialize repository, and then do updated my project with readme, and then you just have to hit commit. Yes. And then once you publish the branch, it asks you like if you want to do public or private, which we did with another command before using gh. And let's say I'm gonna press publish to GitHub public repository. So it's gonna publish this repository into my GitHub. If I go click on open on GitHub here, now I can see here project 2 has been published. So that's another easy way that you can do all these things. It's the same again. So if you want to change branches, you just have to click here, and then you can create new branches, and you can do all that stuff. And also you can create new folders, like new files, let's say program.py, something like that, and then press print hello, and then you can just, you'll get automatically in the source control all the edits that you make. You just have to edit, make another commit again. So it's something like first commit. So instead of git add, VS Code automatically does that for you. So that's what it's doing. So you just have to press commit, and then yes, sync changes. So sync is going to pull and push. So first it's gonna get all the information from GitHub if it is having anything, and then it's gonna push all of our updates into GitHub. So I just push, and now my GitHub is going to have this program.py updated as well. So if you just reload here, now you can see this. So that's how easy it is to work with GitHub and Git in general. And if you have any pain in remembering these commands or like using these commands, you can just use VS Code, which is much more simpler. But if you need more flexibility in the work that you are doing, you can always go with Git. So that's all the fundamentals that you need to know about Git, and these will cover like 90% of your day and work. Typically these are all the commands that you will usually use. So I hope you understood it, and if you have some questions, you can just drop in the comments, and I'll explain you how it could be done, or if any problems, I can make a future video on that. So thank you.